Nebraska just wrapped up their second week of fall practice in their first full scrimmage of the year. And man, oh man, over these past couple hours, I've learned some exclusive inside nuggets on everything that happened, breakout players, so both offense and defense, the scoop on yesterday's scrimmage, who shined, who didn't, two positional groups, one that's better than expected, one that's significantly worse, an updated look on the culture of this team, the coaching staff's honest expectations for 2025, and a couple other inside bits that I need to share with you. So really quick, this video is loaded with information from start to finish. Hit that like button if you're fired up. And also, this season's almost here, and we're getting so close to 13,000 subscribers on the channel. If you're a diehard Nebraska fan and you want daily content talking your favorite team, talking Huskers, it is a no-brainer. It takes 2 seconds. Join the family. Help us hit 13K. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. But without further ado, we have a lot to talk about. Nebraska just wrapped up their second week of fall practice, their first full scrimmage of the year. And for that reason, we've learned a lot of inside bits, a lot of huge nuggets, and I want to get things started with our first segment of the day. We'll go to the breakout players later. We'll go to some of the concerns later. I want to get things started on a high note. This Nebraska offense is absolutely legit. It was phenomenal in yesterday's practice. It dominated. I mean, let's go to the wide receivers first. Nebraska was greeted with the visitor yesterday. One of the best wide receivers in the National Football League, Tank Dell, was there, meeting with guys like Jacory, Barney, like wide receiver coach Da'Keel Shorts, talking with Dane, Nyziah Hunter, and he had great things to say about this unit in particular. I mean, you start with guys like Jacory, Barney. I told you about a week ago, I believe not only that Jacory Barney is the best receiver on this team, I believe he could potentially be the best player on this team, period. And he's been living up to that so far in practice with the speed, with the size. He put on about 10 pounds of muscle. He just looks bigger in that picture. But the big thing around Jacory Barney has been his route running. He's took that to a different level so far. Short, medium, deep. He's beating man coverage at a high level, getting open on pretty much every single play, being a game changer for this offense. So Jacory Barney is going to prove to a lot of people this year that he's more than just a slot receiver, that he's more than just a gadget guy. He's going to prove that he's a deep ball threat, and he's going to be one of the best receivers in all of college football. He's been phenomenal, making plays pretty much every single time he's on the field. So Jacory Barney, more physical than ever, going up and get jump balls as well. He's been great. I mean, you go to some of the other wide receivers as well. Dane Keith's been putting on a show. He's back from injury time and time again. He's coming up with deep balls. He's coming up with jump balls, 50-50s, whether it was in the scrimmage yesterday, whether it was in, Monday's practice, Wednesday's practice. He's physical. He's dominant. Dane Keith been living up to expectations. Jeremiah Jones, true freshman. He is officially in this 2 deep for the Huskers. Dana Holgorsen, Da'Keel Shorts, they're planning not to redshirt him. So that's great news around somebody who's 6'4", runs a 4.4 40 time. So blazing fastball, also has that size, has that physicality. Jeremiah Jones has been playing well with his contested catch ability. And also, I want to talk about Nyziah Hunter. Nobody ever really discussed him. You never really hear too many nuggets around him. It's because he's so steady. Nyziah doesn't really do too much that impresses you from a speed, size standpoint. He's not 6'5". He doesn't run a 4.4, but he's kind of like a Larry Fitzgerald, where he just does everything right. He's physical, and he's a great route runner. He's productive at the highest level every single year of his career. So Nyziah Hunter going to be a big threat for this Nebraska wide receiver core too. So I mean, it's just pretty much loaded from this 1 deep, 2 deep, even the 3 deep. Now I will say this: the only receiver I've really heard nothing about over these 2 weeks of fall ball is Janiran Bonner. That's something the coaching staff really likes. Haven't heard too much around Janiran Bonner, so just leave that to what you will. Hopefully he breaks out going into week 3 and week 4, because this is a big prove year for Mr. Bonner. And then you go to the rest of this offense. Dylan Raiola had a great scrimmage yesterday. That's expected. One quote that I heard is that he's more decisive than ever before, that his IQ is even better than his talent on the field. He's a smarter quarterback than ever. He's learning the defense at a high level. His progressions have always been phenomenal, but he's been taking that up a notch as well. So Dylan Raiola, he's looking great. That should be expected. He's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in America. And Emmett Johnson's been coming along. He had his best practice so far of fall camp. This running back room is better than what people are giving him credit for. At least, the top unit is. Isaiah Mozee played well. We'll get to him later in the video. But Emmett Johnson, he's a stud. Hopefully he can be a 1,000-yard rusher for Nebraska. So Dana Holgorsen, he's working his magic with this offense. They dominated the defense yesterday. I mean, it wasn't even close. They were dominating pretty much every single aspect. So you feel great about the offense. Are some concerns with the defense. We'll get to that as the video progresses. All right, second segment for the Huskers. Second thing we learned after week 2, this is a position group that has struggled. Despite the coaching staff hyping it up at times, this is the defensive line. One quote that I heard about the scrimmage yesterday is that the offensive line absolutely dominated the defensive line. It wasn't even close in the running game, but particularly in the pass rush. The defensive line could never get a rush on Dylan Raiola yesterday. There was never a time where he was really panicking in the pocket, where he had to get things out really quickly or throw it away. the offensive line dominated. And that makes me feel great about this offensive line unit. It's the best it's been in some time, but the D-line is a huge question mark, and it's been that way for a while. I mean, the big problem with the defensive line in my eyes, of course, we can't get a pass rush, but the big problem is that we don't have any great players. We have a bunch of good players right now, okay? Elijah Jeudy is a good player. Riley Van Poppel is a good player. Cameron Lenhart is a good player. But right now, we do not have a great player on this defensive line. We don't have a Ty Robinson. We don't even have a Nash Hutmaker. We don't have any great. So again, that's a solid defensive line. It could be, 40th in America. It could be 50th in America. But it is not a defensive line right now that's 20th. That's 15th. That's 10th. It's because simply we don't have a breakout player that we've been waiting for. And that's something that I thought Keona Davis was going to break out. I thought maybe a Cameron Lenhart would break out. That has not happened yet. And there's a reason why the offensive line, every time you hear this coaching staff talk, they're saying the offensive line's dominating the D-line. It's because the offensive line had some breakouts, right? They've had guys like Henry Lutovsky play well, Justin Evans play well, even Elijah Pritchett is playing better than expected. The D-line, it's not been that same way. So I know that Matt Rule has said, he said that Big Ten Media Days that he feels great about this defensive line. He believes it's going to be hell on wheels and that it's going to surprise some people. I'm on wait and see mode because the things that we've heard, actions speak louder than words, and the actions on the field are not reflecting that so far. Okay. And it's simply from a pass rush standpoint, we can't get pressure. That's the big concern. I feel confident about us in the running game. Okay. Stopping the running back. Okay. Elijah Jeudy's a run stopper. Cameron Lenhart's a run stopper. Riley Van Poppel's a run stopper. You go down the line. We do not have a 3 technique or a nose tackle on this team who can consistently get to the quarterback, and that's showing up in practice once again. So again, a little bit of an issue there with the D line. It's not too surprising. The coaching staff said also, not only yesterday with Matt Rule, but John Butler talked about this a couple days ago, the physicality of this team isn't good enough right now. The tackling is not good enough. So it's no shocker to me that the offense dominated the defense yesterday at scrimmage. Hopefully it becomes more competitive next weekend. But again, the secondary played well yesterday. We'll get to that. The linebackers played well. It's just the D-line. As of right now, I just don't believe this defensive line is going to stack up against some of the teams in the Big Ten with great offensive line. It's not going to win the battle of the trenches just because we can't get the quarterback consistently, and it's been that way so far. All right, that's a concern. Let's go to a more positive note. The breakout players for Nebraska in week 2. Now, I have a couple of them I want to share with you. We'll get things started with a former walk-on. This is Vincent Genatone. He was shouted out by Matt Rule yesterday. He's transitioning from linebacker to running back. Listed at 6 foot tall, 225. Man, he's been playing well in practice. If you want this power back, if you want somebody who just looks the part, can be your short yardage guy, this is potentially it. Okay, and Vincent Genatone, I'll just tell you this right now. He's not the smartest running back in the world. Okay, that's going to happen when you haven't played the position in 3-4 years since high school. He can't really read the offensive line very well to shoot through the A-gap, B-gap, but he's just somebody who has the size. He definitely has the speed as well. He's a former track star. Just bully you. I mean, if you need somebody to just run through the offensive line to 4th down and 1 at the goal line, this is who you put in the ball game, right? So Vincent Genatone, we're hearing some good things. We'll see what his role looks like, but if you want a short yardage back, this is your guy. He's not going to be anything more than that. He's not going to be a 1st down running back. He's definitely not going to be somebody you see on 3rd downs, in the passing department. But Vincent Genatone, from the way it's sounding, from what we've heard, with his speed, with his size, the combination, he's going to be a short yardage back for Nebraska this year. And you're starting to feel a little bit better about this running back core. They're going to get a bunch of guys involved. Like, I believe there will be 5 or 6 running backs this year who get carries consistently. Whether it's, again, let's go down the line for you. Emmett Johnson, Quinn Ives, in no particular order, by the way. Emmett Johnson, Quinn Ives, Mekhi Nelson, Isaiah Mozee, Kenneth Williams, Vincent Genatone. Those are the 6. And we could even see a Conor Booth here and there. That could be 7. Like, this running back room, that's a good and bad thing. It's a good thing you're getting that many guys carries, but it's also a bad thing because it means that your depth probably isn't very good. You don't have too many guys really stepping up, and that's the reason why you have to go to 6 or 7 guys. So Vincent Genatone, though, he's been playing well. Wanted to mention him. And then you go to a couple other guys. Donovan Jones. Man, strong, very strong scrimmage yesterday. He was the one guy I heard in particular was just balling out, had a couple PBUs. They like him at safety now, but he's somebody who they still play at corner from time to time. So Donovan Jones is coming along. Like, he's going to play a lot more than what's expected. They're just trying to find a role for him. Okay, the way that he's been playing in practice, the reason why he's playing at safety right now is because I think he can play more at safety in that corner because it's more open. So he's just one of those guys where he's so talented, he's so productive. We're moving around to find ways to get him on the field more. Okay, really good scrimmage yesterday, but I mean, you'll see this theme as the video progresses. The corners are coming along. The secondary in general is coming along. It had a poor week 1, definitely had a lot better of a week 2, and that's why we get to our third breakout player. Jameer Khan was arguably the MVP on defense yesterday in the scrimmage. He had a couple big-time PBUs. He had an interception. So Jameer Khan's somebody who's just so physical. I mean, he is so physical. Sometimes he gets too physical, a little too handsy, but yesterday he really showed off. There was one play that was released by the media team where he was in man coverage against Dane in the red zone. That's incredibly hard to do with Dane's ability to go up and get 50-50 balls, and he just smacked that ball away in only way that Jamarion could. So another guy who can play corner. They're working him out on the nickel as well. Could see him all over this field, but Jamarion feel like he's going to play a lot this year, especially in the 2 deep for Nebraska. And then a couple other guys I want to get to. Mekhi, he had his strongest week of fall camp. Somebody who's definitely pushing to start. He could be even the mix to get a black shirt by the time the Cincinnati game rolls around. Again, I still expect to be Deshaun, but Deshaun has a lot to prove. Like, we act like this guy is a proven commodity. He really isn't, right? You look at the stats last year, Oklahoma in 2023 or 2024, not very good, right? He was somebody who just kind of never broke out. So we're hoping Deshaun can break out this year. But Mekhi, he's nipping at his hinds a little bit because he's also somebody who's incredibly talented, who's up to 240 pounds. He put on about 20 pounds of muscle, and you know how much of a freak he is off the line of scrimmage with his speed, just like his father, legendary Miami Hurricanes running back. A couple other guys I want to get to. Rex Guthrie was noted to be running with the ones yesterday during the scrimmage. Now, he's not somebody who's starting. He's not somebody who I even expect to be in the 2 deep, but they were just rotating him in. And there's a reason why Matt Rule is putting in guys like Rex Guthrie. He's just trying to see what works. So Guthrie's somebody who is more of a nickel, but also can play strong safety. Just watch out for the name. I really have not heard much about him until yesterday, but he was running with the ones, and they like what they can negate from him at times because with his speed and with his aggression, especially on special teams. This is somebody who I expect to play a lot as a gunner for our punting unit. And then a couple other guys. Second week, you're going to see Lateef on this breakout list. Again, he might be quarterback too by the time he gets to Cincinnati. He's been balling out. I mean, he's not a freshman anymore. He does not live like a freshman, and it's mostly with his IQ. That was the thing that was struggling in spring ball. It was never really his speed. It was never really his arm strength. Actually, that was all fine. That's what you expect from a 4-star. Like, he's really good. But it was always his IQ. And it's tough for these quarterbacks when they get to the Big Ten, when they get to Nebraska, to learn the speed of the game, to learn the defenses, the new coverages. And he was clearly putting in the work back in California during the summer because he came here in the fall as a completely different player. He's unbelievable. And we saw that last Saturday at the open practice. And we saw that once again yesterday in the scrimmage. So TJ Lateef, I mean, from a talent standpoint, it's not even close. Like, he blows Jalyn Gramstad out of the water. The reason why Jalyn's still quarterback too is because I believe he's more of a smarter quarterback still. But TJ's, again, once again, he's just too talented where it's like, if there was a situation where Dylan Riley, God forbid, goes down, there might be some hope in that coaching staff that TJ gives you a better chance to win than Jalyn. And I believe that with his upside. So TJ just having a really, really good fall ball. And then last but not least, I just got to throw Jacory on this list. Is he a breakout player? No. But when I tell you that, it's just the same deal as last year. I'm hearing this guy every single day. Jacory made another play. He's the best player on this team. Buy some Jacory Barney stock because I believe he's going to be a future first-round NFL draft pick. All right, those are the breakout players. Let's get to the fourth segment. A couple other scrimmage nuggets I want to get to. Again, the DBs had a bounce back week. Last week, they were really, really struggling, but they're starting to get a little chippy. They're starting to get more physical, but they're starting to become more of a lockdown unit. Again, Mario Buford had a strong week once again. Jamarion, we just talked about Donovan Jones, even a Larry Tarver had a strong week. So some good corners who are finally break down in a big way. It was more competitive. The wide receivers definitely still dominated the DBs, but lesser so than what it was in week one, because week one it was sloppy. It was bad for that corner unit. And it should be mentioned that Sear Wright, he's been off and on. He has a hamstring that's bothering him. He's not injured really, but he hasn't been practicing fully just because of that hamstring. That's kind of been a lingering injury since the summer, but not something you should worry about. He should be fine by Cincinnati. Safety room is good as advertised, no question there. Isaiah Mozee's been running with the ones. He played a lot with the ones yesterday in that scrimmage, and he played well. The tight ends have been playing well as well, but it's the same deal with the defensive line where you have 3 decent tight ends in Luke Lindemeyer, Card Nelson, Heinrich, Haarberg, but you don't have a guy there so far. There hasn't been one of those guys who really broke out yet. So we're kind of waiting on maybe a Luke Lindemeyer to finally take it up a notch, or maybe even a Card Nelson. So tight ends are good, not great. Offensive line's the best it's been in a while. They dominated yesterday. We just talked about that. And then special teams, lights out yesterday in practice, which is what you're going on here. Archie Wilson, he's a stud. And even the kickers, they were perfect yesterday. It looks like it's a battle between John Hull and Kyle Kinnan. It's been that way for a while. Again, there's some optimism that Kyle Kinnan's going to be that guy. I personally still believe in John Hull. I'm still going to rock with John Hull. I think he's going to be the kicker just because he's a little bit more proven. But we'll see. It's definitely a battle. And right now, it looks like Kyle Kinnan has a little bit of a head start. It looks like he is the favorite. All right, last nugget of the video. Let's talk about the culture of this team, because I thought Matt Rule, he was very insightful yesterday. He brought a lot of perspective to us talking about this team. I mean, the team just bought into the process. And, you know, when we were in year 1 and year 2 of Matt Rule, it was all about excuses with some of these veteran players on the team because they were, you know, from the Scott Frost regime, even some of them were from Mike Riley, where it was all about excuses. Okay. Oh, we didn't used to do this under Scott Frost, or, you know, we didn't used to do this at my old college. And Matt Rule finally got rid of those guys. That's something he talked about in the spring. Like, we finally got rid of the holdovers, the guys who were constantly complaining. Okay. And Matt Rule said that everybody is bought in, that they're doing things a little bit harder than other schools, and they're okay with it because they know that they're going to execute on game day. They know they're going to win. So, I mean, this team is confident. They're having fun. Matt Rule said that he's having the most fun he's had as a coach maybe ever. And, you know, overall, this coaching staff, there's a reason why they are expecting playoffs. Okay, they are expecting 10 wins. That is the talk inside that building. I've told you guys that since March. They're not going to say that to the media because, again, they don't want to put up, you know, bullet board material for these other schools. But Matt Rule in his head believes 10 wins. Dana Holgorsen in his head believes 10 wins. You go down the line. Do you believe 10 wins? That's up for you to decide. But the way that this team is performing, specifically from an offensive standpoint, I believe the defense will figure itself out. Like, Matt Rule's never had a bad defense. He's never had a bad defensive line wherever he's went. So I think the D-line will figure itself out by game time. If everybody's expecting 10 wins inside that building, what are you expecting? I don't know. Maybe it's time to buy some stock, but we got 18 days. We got to figure it out. We got to figure out the tackling specifically because that's been the big concern, not only week 1, but still in week 2. So that is the Nuggets after week 2 of Nebraska fall camp. We're going into week 3, going to week 4, and then it's game week. Big thing that we need to focus on: tackling, game planning, and just being a smarter team from a discipline standpoint, and everything else will figure itself out. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Big time Nuggets episode, everything that you're thinking, let me know in the comment section. Hey, if you made this far in the video, hit that like button and subscribe. We're getting so close to 13,000 subscribers. I'm so grateful for all of you. I'm going to continue to work hard every single day to bring you the best content on Nebraska YouTube. Thank you for supporting me. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Hit the like button and subscribe. As always, folks, go Red, go Met Rule, and I'll see you in the next one.